ShinRobjira.
What's going on there, friends and neighbors? I am ShinRobjira, and today I'm going to be talking about the SEGa rebuild of Evangelion Girl with a Chair set. Aptly titled, if you asked me. Within this set is just Rei and Asuka, to my knowledge. I actually managed to snag these for a rather cheap price on Amazon many moons ago. And this is going to be a rather short video because, like most SEGa figures, these figures feature absolutely no articulation. Now, despite my disliking of the character Asuka, I have to admit that this figure is very, very well done. Asuka's likeness is captured pretty dang perfectly, and I honestly really like the pose she's in. Unlike Rei, though, she is not attached to her seat because you can just lift her right up just like that. So I guess we'll do a close-up right now. And as you can see, this is a very good looking figure. It looks as if Asuka jumped right off of the screen from the anime into this very figurized form of herself. I especially have to give SEGa credit for the face. This really, really does look like Asuka. But aside from that, we have some very, very nice detail on her plug suit. Beautifully painted green and blue collar. She's got the orange patches on the titties. We've got silver screws on her shoulder blades. On both sides, as you can see. Wow, I didn't even notice that before. You can actually see the screw right there. Let's get a closer look. Don't mind me, just had to turn on the light. Yeah, look at that. You can actually see the other screw behind her hair. Speaking of her hair is just beautifully shaded. I love that it starts off very, very light and then comes down to a darker brown. Very well shaded, very, very good looking. And I like that they included her little hair clips over here. Other than that, you're not going to get much else. The detail on the plug suit is in fact fantastic. It's got all the little doohickeys and everything on there. There's even going to be some detail and paint on the bottom sides of her feet as well as the undersides of her thighs. And yep, there's her butt. And as you can see over here, she does have her little backpack back there with the number 2 on there since she is the second child. And again, this hair, a little bit of some paint issues over here with some red, but goddamn, that is just fantastic. And I do have to say, wow, her face is really, really shiny. The decals for the eyes and the eyebrows are very well done, and the paint in the mouth was done exceptionally well. Now, the main sell behind this little mini series of figures was that the figures come with chairs to sit in. Quite obviously, you really can't do anything with this figure unless she is in a chair. Unfortunately, you could do that, but it looks like she's kind of doing like a lazy fly kick. So with Asuka, all you really do is just that, essentially. You put her in the chair, you make sure her hand is holding on to the side, and that's pretty much it. Nothing holds her in at all. There's just, some butt cheek indentations right there. And yeah, like I said before, you just set her in there and she sits and she looks pretty dang cool. Talking about the chair though, got the right amount of paint, right amount of details, could have used some shading, but this is a SEGa prize figure, so I wasn't expecting too much. I like that the line work for the bottom of the chair was done and done very, very nicely. This actually came in, I think, a couple pieces, maybe 2, but yeah, this is Asuka's chair. And the best thing about this little series of figures is that if you are ever moving or you got the chairs mixed up, you know exactly whose chair is which. Now let's move on to Best Girl Rei. Now, I'm a Rei fanboy tried and true. She's my second favorite character in Evangelion overall, but even I have to say there is one thing wrong with this figure, and I would definitely say that is the face. I don't know what it is. I think the eyes are a little bit too far apart, but other than that, the figure is nice. She's got the paint in all of the right places. The shading on her hair is very... Whoa! Rei's got cake. Yeah, I don't know where all that came from. I guess SEGa just favors Rei more than Asuka. But anyway, the painted in details are very fantastic. Yet again, you are going to see all the different little doohickeys on the plug suit over here. But unlike Asuka, Rei is actually pegged in. There's a little peg right there that goes into Rei's knee. Wow, that looks painful. And basically you just set her down like that and there you go. So taking a look at the figure off of the chair, again, just look at all of the painted detail on here. Really, really love the little orb in her chest over here with the zipper coming down. Looks very, very, very nice. And just like Asuka, you're going to get paint on the bottom of Rei's feet. I don't think they're as detailed as the bottom of Asuka's feet, but whatever, you're not going to be looking at these characters' feet. Well, maybe some people would. We've got the gray on the palm, the orange on the bracelet, and yeah, this is a pretty nice looking Rei figure. You got the hair clips. Yet again, the shading on the hair is rather fantastic, and again, you are going to get all of the different details on this figure. And, you know, despite the face looking a little wonky, I think this figure's rather nice. And yet again, you are not going to be able to pose this figure without the chair, or it will fall. Now, this chair is pretty much the same as Asuka's, but it just has a peg for Rei's kneecap. Now, on the back of the box over here, you're going to see instructions for how to put the characters on their chairs. Rei, peg and knee, Asuka, butt and seat. It's pretty self-explanatory. And like I stated at the beginning of the video, this is a SEGa prize figure. Why these are somewhat diminished in quality as compared to SEGa's other prize figures, I'm not too sure. All I do know is that this was released, I believe, for the very first rebuild of Evangelion film. I'm not seeing any dates on this thing. There was no date in the listing on Amazon. It just says girl with a chair set. And as you can see on the back of the boxes, they both pretty much say the same thing. To girl with chair and other stuff. So aside from these figures being well over 10 years old, I really don't know why there's so much. Like, I've seen this set go for $80, $90. I really don't know why. This is like a grade of quality beneath the normal SEGa prize figure. I think it might just be because it came out around the same time as the rebuild of Evangelion series started. SEGa prize figures apparently really don't get manufactured after they are out of print, so yeah, there's that. If you're a Rei fan, if you're an Asuka fan, if you're a fan of both, or if you're a fan of just the girls of Evangelion overall, I think this is a nice little inclusion to your Evangelion set. Damn it, Asuka. You guys know me. I'm not the biggest fan of Asuka, and I've stated that a couple of times in this video overall. But it is nice to have a very well done figure of her, and for this being a grade under the normal SEGa quality, I have to say I really like it. These came out great, and if you can find them for a decent enough price, I say go for it. I guess now we can transition into a size comparison. So with the other figures shown next to these two, as well as the DVD and the Blu-ray boxes, these are pretty decently sized figures. They're not as big as the average SEGa prize figure, but they do get the job done. And for whatever reason why Rei got the chest and butt upgrade, I don't know, but I'm not gonna complain. They're figures after all. I mean, it's not like I mind Rei having the upgrades, and it's not like those are the major focus of the video. Again, two very nice figures that I got for a very decent price. But anyway, that's about going to wrap it up for this video, friends and neighbors. I do hope you enjoyed, and until next Friday, with the star-studded return of Rob's Godzilla Room Reviews for a single episode, I will see you all then and there, and on Monday, and the stream in the middle of the week as well. Until then, bye everybody.